We go to Brian Rogers taking on Dominique Steele. This one a middleweight contest. Rogers 9-4, Steele 6-2. Rogers is the favorite, minus 285. Steele plus 225. The dog. Rogers is coming off a knockout loss to 8-2 Andrey Spang. That was on April 20th at Bellator 66 in the middleweight tournament semifinals. Rogers has 9 wins, 8 via knockout, 1 submission. He's lost 4 times, twice via knockout and twice via decision. He's got a 2-2 Bellator record with a knockout win over Vitor Viana in the quarterfinals of the middleweight tournament in March of this year. Rogers, 28 years old, from Kent, Ohio. He's been fighting since 2008 and has a karate style. Dominic Steele, a.k.a. Nonstop Action Packed. Yep, that's his nickname. He's coming off a unanimous decision loss to a 10-3 fighter, David Branch, on January 22nd in Pennsylvania. He's got 2 of 6 wins via knockout, 2 submissions, and 2 decisions. Quite well-rounded in the victory department. He's lost twice, 1 knockout, 1 decision. He's 24 years old, from Cincinnati, Ohio, so 2 Ohio boys going at it. Steele has been fighting since only 2011. He lost his first pro fight, but then won 6 in a row before losing his last one. He fought in Strikeforce and won, and will be making his Bellator debut here on Friday night. Steele versus Rogers. I'm gonna go with Brian Rogers. I think he's more dangerous of a fighter. Steele's been knocked out before. Rogers, heavy hands, 8 of 9 wins via knockout. I like Brian Rogers, the favorite, to pick up the victory.
Yeah, I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm going to go with Nonstop Action Packed. The fact that, he lost his last fight, but he went the distance with his opponent, whereas Rogers was knocked out.
All right, so Kevin likes Dominic Steele. I'm going to go with Brian Rogers, and now we move to the co-main event, the welterweight semifinals. It is the white mare Marius Zaromskis, 19-6, taking on 11-0 Andrey Koreshkov. Zaromskis plus 190, the dog. Koreshkov minus 240, the favorite. Zaromskis picked up a decision win over the very tough Nordin Taleb on September 28th at Bellator 74 in his quarterfinal bout, while Koreshkov coming off a decision over 17-4 Jordan Smith in his quarterfinals on the 28th of September. Zaromskis, 13 of 19 wins via knockout, 4 decisions, 1 submission, and 1 DQ, while Koreshkov, 7 of 11 wins via knockout, 3 submissions, and 1 decision. That's good news. These guys, both of them, the majority of their wins via knockout. Zaromskis, though, has been knocked out 4 times before. 1 decision loss, 1 disqualification loss for 6 total losses, whereas Koreshkov is undefeated. Zaromskis has notable victories over Kazushi Sakuraba, Jason Hai, Hayato Sakurai, and Joachim Spirit Wolf, while Koreshkov picked up a win over Ultimate Fighter vet Casey Uscola and got wins in Bellator over Tiawan Howard and Derek Krantz. He's now 3-0 in the Bellator promotion, as is Marius Zaromskis. He's Zaromskis, 32 years old, 10 years older than his opponent Koreshkov, who is 22. Zaromskis has also been fighting 10 years longer. He's been fighting since 2000, where Koreshkov made his debut in 2010. Zaromskis is from Lithuania, but has been training out of San Jose, California, with the world-famous American Kickboxing Academy. He is on a 5-fight win streak, while obviously Koreshkov at 11-0. Undefeated. He went 8-0 in Russia before moving in to Bellator, and he's trained by Alexander Shlemenko. Koreshkov, minus 240, the favorite. Zaromskis, plus 190, the dog. I like the veteran in
the
this
underdog.
fight.
Yeah, me too.
I like Zaromskis. I think that, Zaromskis, he's got losses, but he's fought some of the best in the world. He had a war with Nick Diaz. He's had some great fights and some great wins. So I think the experience is on Zaromskis' side. I think he's a more well-rounded mixed martial artist and training with some of the best in the world over at AKA. I like Marius Zaromskis to give Koreshkov his first loss. I like the dog, the white mare, Marius Zaromskis.
No, you're not going to get any argument here. I think Koreshkov is extremely impressive, being undefeated. However, I just like that whole experience factor. You meant Zaromskis has lost to some very good fighters like Nick Diaz, like Jordan Mean. There's a who's who of guys that he's lost to, but he's also got some impressive kicks and some great stand-up skills, and I like him to win. And now it's the main event time, and I know who I like to win.
All right, well, Lyman Good or Michail Tsarev. Good 13-2, Tsarev 24-2. Oddsmakers love Lyman Good minus 500. The favorite Tsarev plus 350. The dog. This is the main event, the welterweight semifinal. Good coming off a decision win over 23-7 Jim Wallhead on September 28th in his quarterfinal, where Tsarev coming off a submission win over Tim Welch on the 28th in his quarter to advance into the semis. Good 6 of 13 wins via knockout, 6 decisions, and 1 submission, while Tsarev likes the submission, 19 of 24 via tap out with 3 knockouts and 2 decision wins. Good has only lost twice in his career, once to Ben Askren in 2010 via decision to lose the Bellator welterweight championship, and the other to 14-1 Rick Hahn in 2011 in the welterweight tournament semifinal. That was a split decision, so he's lost, but to some of the very best in Bellator, and both via decision. Good has picked up some victories over Mike Dolce, Omar De La Cruz, and Chris Lozano, whereas Michail Tsarev has lost twice only in his career as well, both submissions, and those were consecutive losses in 2008. He was, before that, on a 13-fight undefeated streak, went 13-0, lost twice, and has now won 11 in a row since then. He submitted Ultimate Fighter vet Casey Escola, there's that name coming up again, in February of this year prior to joining Bellator. Tsarev is 1-0 in Bellator. He has been fighting since 2005. He's 26 years old, also from Russia, training with Alexander Shlemenko, where Lyman Good is 27 years old, from Harlem, New York, training with Team Tiger Schulman. He's been fighting also since 2005 and is 6-2 in Bellator since 2009. He was actually the first ever Bellator welterweight champion. Good on a hell of a roll. Tsarev as well. He's won 11 straight. Interesting matchup. Oddsmakers love Lyman Good. What do you think, Kevin?
I like Lyman Good, and I think that there's a big level of discrepancy when it comes to who Tsarev may have been fighting when he was fighting in Europe and in Russia. I also kind of resent the fact that a lot of these guys have to fight once in order to get a spot into a Bellator tournament, where he just came in immediately into a tournament position. Nonetheless, I like Lyman Good because he trains with Muna Holland at Team Tiger Schulman, and I think he's just, kind of on the run of his career right now.
Yeah, Lyman Good, I mean, he's been in there with some of the very best, and he's come very, very close to winning against those guys. When he does lose, it's razor thin. Razor thin. I mean, both decisions. He's never been finished. I like Lyman Good as well. And that is the show for tonight.